Hey everyone, so I got this nice CRAFTSMAN machine with a TECUMSEH 5.5 horsepower engine. We'll get a better look at it, but I got it out in the yard because it's a nice day, and the customer actually dropped it off pretty early. It is an older machine because, well, it's a TECUMSEH, right? But, you know, these were real popular. This one's in nice shape. Let's take it. So what we're going to be doing today is we got to deal with the tires, the rims, and the bead has been broken on it, so out of air. I already washed it and got it good and clean, so we got that to do. We're going to pull the plug. Maybe we'll do a little compression test. We're going to check for spark. We're going to flip this thing up. We're going to get underneath and pull the float ball and take a peek. Maybe we can clean it out without having to pull the carburetor. And if that all goes well, at some point we'll do the engine oil. We're going to get it up on its face, right? And we got to get underneath and look at the transmission and see what's going on with that. I have some service items in that to deal with. I'll show you guys what I do there. Lubricate everything. We're going to do the oil, like I said, and you know, we're just going to go over this whole thing and get it. We got to pull the tires off too. We want to see if we can get the rims off and lubricate the shafts, right? So we have stuff in the transmission. It's a nice machine. It's a, what is it, 5-speed with 2 reverse. I had one of these. Mine was green, and they work pretty good. They're you know, about $400 or something like that. $500 new is something like, at least mine was back in the day. Let's get started on it, right? It's a cool machine. Let's get this thing going for the guy. All right, guys. The first thing I did was took the plug out, and I just wanted to show you the rust on the plug. So that's obviously an ignition issue, and it was running rich. Let's just check for spark, but before we do, let's get a little lubricant in the hole. And that's just basically a little bit of fuel with some, this is transmission fluid, you know, my special sauce. And let's just roll it around a little bit. Make sure there's no... Okay. Well, that doesn't sound too bad. Maybe you can see it. If not, I'll yell it out, right? We gotta make sure she's on. There we go. We got good spark, right? Sounds powerful. Sounds good. And again, we'll put a little bit more. What's nice about this stuff, this training fluid, is it doesn't affect compression testing too much. If you want to do like a wet compression test, you do that with engine oil. Not bad. You got about 150 psi on that. That's nice. So I'm going to actually write that down on his muffler. I'll just put a little bit of my, you can use 2-stroke or, you know, anything that's a lubricant, just to make it, you know, come off without tearing or anything. There's a gasket here. What's nice is this one has adjustable carburetor. That's your high mixture, your high-speed mix screw. So it's, you could always lean underneath and tweak it, because the barometric pressure goes up and down when it snows and it storms, especially here on the island. It's nice to be able to just tweak it. Now, most people don't, but for us guys that are into that, you know, you can reach underneath there, and yeah, it's on pretty tight. So on this one, we noticed that the flat is over here, right? And let's find out if that's even in the right spot. So we'll just take this whole assembly right out, and yeah, she's clogged. Look, right away I can tell you there's sediment in there. We got to take the gas tank out too. All right. Oh yeah, see? There's sediment right there. All right, so I think we're better off if we just take the tank out and flush the tank and, you know, pull the carb. It's not that hard to do. See? And there's water in it too. All right, we'll be back. All right, so just a couple of bolts here, 3/8, and then we'll get the hose off. This way I can make sure it's clean, because we did find some debris. And it's very common for people to let their gas cans get full of junk, right? Same gas can a lot of times that they use all summer long. So it's nice out today, and it's still early enough, I can bring it outside, give it a hose even, which is one of the best things to do. Now to get this off, hold on, I'll show you what I like to do. I don't know if you can see it, so I'll just walk you through it. I take my 2-stroke or the training fluid mix, you know, douse the end of the hose, and then just grab a pair of pliers, the clamp, and give it a twist, and you're done, right? And there's fuel in there too. There's a little bit of gross fuel, so I'm going to dump this out, and we're going to get the tank cleaned out first, and we're going to blow through this line. Now this line's in great shape. If it's not, you'll have to take all of this off, right, to get to it properly. It's a job, but it's a doable one on this machine. Okay, so before we take it off, let's just take a look at the layout, right, the way it is and we find it. And predominantly, right, we have it. If we look here, it's the rod is in the back hole, right? So I'm standing in front of it. It's my left. It's the far left hole. And then on the throttle blade piece here, so we have a big hole there, the little hole there, and it's in the middle, right? And it's perfect. So what we'll do next is we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to put a little bit of juice on that, a little bit of juice on this, right? This is our primer, and we'll carefully work those off, and then we'll get to the rest of it. Now, sometimes we can take it from here because it can be a bit of a pain in the neck, but let's see. Let's get to the next step. All right, let's butter it up. We'll get everything. Get the nuts, the screws, the bolts. Now this will come off, and it's already moving. Okay, so if it doesn't come off right now, you know, don't worry, right? We'll get it off when we get the nut out of the way. Now it'd be nice to get it off now if we can, but we don't want to damage it. And once it starts to move, we should be able to get it to just pull off once we have the carb in our hands. But let's see. It wants to go, but it doesn't have any really where to go, see? Because it's kind of jammed in there, so it will come off. Now we just got to work around. Let's get the little line here. Just kind of gently, you know, wobble it, pick at it. Now these lines get deteriorated, but even in general, even when they're in good shape, right, they're fragile. And you have to try to move them. Oh, I already nicked it, see? Now, that's a problem, okay, because we may have to put an extension on it. This is very common that happens. Okay, so I'll have to fix this. I got a customer coming, so I'm going to have to book. Now, usually I just take the screws off and I pull it, the whole thing. It's generally easier to do it that way, and sometimes you have to take this off to do it because it won't come out. Let's just see. So we'll take our Phillips screwdriver. This is number 2 or something, the bigger one. And see, yeah, see, it turns. And believe me, it's a lot easier to deal with this than back here with these guys. You kind of fight it. And also, it's a nice way to check to make sure, check that these are tight. Let's see if they come out. Yeah, you see. Now we're going to want to put some of our juice on there. So some guys do it the other way. I think that's just a matter of preference. I'm just going to get some juice on that so that the gasket yields a little bit. And we should be able to just kind of tap it. Hey? That's it. And the gasket came. Now we can get our fuel line off. And this one is, the fuel line is the thing you want to be most careful, because otherwise you're going to be taking this cover off. For sure. There's just no room for filters or damaged fuel lines. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to pull the Z-bend out. Let's go over to the bench and set this up on the bench. We'll give it a good wash. We'll get in here, get to everything, get it nice and cleaned up. So there's a lot of water in there. See all that water? And there's a bit of debris in there. So what I'm going to do is, again, like I said, I'm going to bring it outside. We're going to just hit it with the hose, a little cleaner, wash it off. Then I'll blow it with compressed air, put a little bit of fresh gas in it, stir it around a little bit, blow it with compressed air, and leave it outside, right, in the sun, because it is a nice day. Remember, there's no filter on these things. There's really no room for it. All right, it's washed out and blow it out. I just put a little plug on the end, or cap, and then I've got some used fuel. Filtered, no junk in it, and put a little bit in there because I see some water, even though I blowed it. Okay, and you got to get it all out. It's hard, right? Some of these filters, gas tanks, once they get water in them, but the fuel, once we put the fuel in there, it'll it'll grabs more of that water and it'll help us to get the rest of it out. So I may have to do it twice. So I'll put it in there, I'll put the cap on. Always blow out the cap too, because this junk gets in that, and you can see there's some water in that. So let me go do that. All right, I'm just going to give the outside a bit of a wash with some old gas. Some of the gas I took out of here. All right, just to make sure, you know, we got, all right, just to make it, you know, consistently cleaner. And just wiped it with a rag, blew it. It's nice and clean, it's in good shape. Now let's count the number of turns this thing is set to. So we got to tighten it a little bit more. All right, let's see, what do we get? It's 1, oh, not quite 1, all right. So we'll take this guy out, we're going to put, hold on, we got leakage. We'll put him in, yeah, just rusted, a little rusty. Put him in a little acid, a special acid. All right, let me get rid of the gas. All right, and open a window. Yeah, see, we got some rust underneath there. So water got to it. I'll show you in a minute. And there's debris in it, so it's definitely worth, you know, taking apart, making sure we're okay. We spent the extra time to get the gas tank cleaned up nice. Now there is a washer here. I'll put that to the side. And this is like a sort of like a seal O-ring. On this one, it's more of a flat, so be careful with these. We don't want to get any chemicals on this. Another thing you can put this in is in lacquer thinner, but yeah, we don't want that getting on. This seal's okay because it's more of a paper seal. All right. This is a Lumibrite. Oh, it's stuck. Aluminum cleaner works great on brass and even steel. But we can still go over this later with a little bit of Scotch-Brite or maybe a little crocus cloth. How's our seal? All right, float bowl seal's in pretty good shape. That looks all good. All right, we'll get to that. See, here's the rust. We're going to brush that, try to get that off. Unfortunately, it's also probably on the underside. Now, you could replace that. You can also just remove it, but we'll address that. We got to get that guy out, and a lot of times to get him out, you got to take this off because you got to have to push, and sometimes you can't quite get to it. But let's see, a small enough screwdriver. There we go. We got it. Now to get it the rest of the way, we're going to take one of our pokers, right, and just grab it. And sometimes it'll come. Let's try a different one. Almost. Yeah, she's a little stuck. Now, they sell a tool for this. All right, we got one of the gaskets, the O-rings. All right, and this one looks beat. So let's see if we have another one. Yeah, she's beat. See? She's coming apart. Whoop. Almost losing it. So we're going to want to get another one of those on there. They start to come apart. And sometimes it's hard to tell if it's coming apart or if it's debris that's on it. So we'll get a magnifying glass on that. But I should have another one. I got to order more. I take them from a lot of my carbs. But it's still kind of stuck in here. There we go. Now there should be another O-ring here. It's probably stuck in there, or it's disintegrated. But this emulsion tube we need, so we need to clean that well. And there should be, yeah, she's in there somewhere. And there's junk in there too. Yeah, she doesn't want to come out. I think she's a little stuck. It could be right up here. Yeah, I think I feel it. They don't usually fight me that much. All right, we got to get in a hook or something. Yeah, those little crochet needles work good. I got to get me a pair. All right, I'm going to work on getting that out, and then we have to take, this is the idle jet here. So we got to pick out the cap. See? That's garbage. And then we got to clean this jet, and so I'll throw that. I'll show you some tricks to that. And we could throw that in our acid. My customer will probably be here very soon. Yeah, she's a little dirty. So it's a good thing we went in here. So I say, sometimes, you know, when they just go, people go in from the bottom and they try to clear everything out, but that's not often the best job because you have deterioration. Especially when these things get a little older, right? These machines are starting to get a little older now, and it's really a good idea to get into these things a little deeper. All right, and then we have one more gasket in there, or seal, I should say. There's a seal here. Be careful with it. We shouldn't need to touch it, so we're just going to be real careful with it. This we're going to hit with the wire brush, and I think my guy's here. I'll be back. I used my picks, and I got out the other seal. It's actually in pretty good shape. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. All right, these are, I think they were just dirty. So let's hold on to that. These are cooking in here. They're coming out pretty good. This we're just going to hit with our wire brush just to get rid of the debris. See it all? There's a lot. Now, if there is some on the other side, we can take a look. Let me blow that. Because we can lift it. Let's see. It may not come up for us. Yeah, it doesn't want to come up. All right, we're going to have to leave it. It may be okay because the water may have just been laying here. But it's part of the primer circuit, and that's really all it does. It's just a cover and like a baffle. So, so far so good, right? Let's just clean it a little. Clean underneath. Yeah, it's clean. All right, that's all we need to do. Everything else is in beautiful shape. All right, let me just blow it. Okay. It's beautiful. Let's put that to the side. Now, a little Scotch-Brite on it. Yeah, that's fine. It's nice and smooth. You blow it. I'll put a little white grease on the threads and on the whole thing. Right? I'll help protect it. Okay, let's put that down. Now this guy, right, this is your idle jet. That's in pretty good shape. Now what you can do, right, this is the keeper clip for the seat, needle and seat, and you can poke through there, but it also, a lot of them, it fits in this hole, see? Okay, just give it a little spritz. All right, that's done. Now, there's our gasket. It's a mild acid, so I try to avoid getting it on my fingers, but that's pretty good shape. Let's see if one of these goes through. We'll take the thinnest one. Come here, you. Oh yeah, no problem. There's nothing in these things because it's adjustable, right? Just blow it. It almost looks like it's been cut. Got a weird... I don't like the looks of that, but what can we do? Right? We got to try it out. Now this guy... Just give it a blow. And shove. Make sure there's nothing stuck in it. Hold on. Okay. All right. Now, we got to clean the, this, I'm just going to wash this out. And just wipe it. It's not that bad. It's just a little bit of varnish on the bottom, but that we don't care about that. It's in good shape. Now, just a word of caution. They'll leak because they're very thin, and this one might be starting to develop a crack right there. They will leak from that. So be prepared, right? If it starts to leak, I'm going to have to take this off and replace it. It should be okay, but they will do that. It'll drive you nuts. Just give this a rinse. It's starting to get a little deteriorated. Yeah. Let me see if I have another one. It's just starting. So, it's starting to come apart. I always go over it with my fingernail. Let me see if I have another one, and then we'll get started putting things back together. I'm not happy with that.
20 minutes later.
Hey, we got a better one. See? Throw that one out. All right, let's get some of this stuff, right? That's got the tranny fluid in it. And the first thing is we need this guy. So let's see how these feel. Feels good. I think this one was just dirty, but yeah, I think it was just a bit of dirt. It could be deteriorating a little bit, but let's look at the other one that I have. Yeah, this one's in better shape. Yeah, put that on there. A little bit of our tranny fluid on. Drop it down in the hole. I mean, that's on there hard though. Hold on. That doesn't feel right. Let's switch it around. I think one might be a little smaller than the other. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that was it. Push it down. Yeah, that's down. You could see it too. It's hard to see. Yeah, it's in there. You can't see it because I'm not going to be able to show it to you. Let's get this guy on. This one's kind of tight. It's in better shape. It fits good. Right? Now, float looks good. Let's hang it. A little hanger bracket. keeper. Drop it in the hole. Excellent. Okay, let's put a little bit of our special sauce on the gasket. Now, we can put this guy on. Flat goes to the flat over here where the fulcrum is. And we got this guy. Whoop. A little bit of lubricant on that. Okay, just lightly snug it to 7/16. That's it. Now we'll put this guy in. It's not adjustable. You'd have to drill it if you wanted to make a change, but we're not touching that. Snug it up. Good. Okay, now this gets it gets the brass washer and then the seal. We've already lubricated it. We're gonna run it in, pull it out about a turn. That's about where we were. All right, turn is fine. We're gonna have to adjust it. And this seal, I'm gonna hold on to this seal just as an emergency, but we replaced it. I keep these. We're done. All right, if you want, put a little bit of the lubricant on the shafts. Be the last time that happens. Right, we gotta put, I took this off, okay, but I hung it on, the rod, I hung it on the machine. So we're gonna bring this over to the machine. This gasket looks good. If you want, you can sweeten it up, and we'll sweeten up the threads a little bit. All right, we'll be back. Let's install it. Okay, so we said it was that hole. And can we do it like this? Or I think you're probably better off if you put it on the carb first and then shove it in. Perfect. Now, I got a little bit of no-sees on the threads, just a scotch. Oh, I gotta wipe my hands. I got oil all over my hands. Okay, we gotta tighten that up. This feels good. Let me wipe my hands. Now, I just have a small vice grip and I cut a little flat on my screwdriver. And just give it a push and a turn. There we go. Yeah, that's good. That's it. It's tight. It's tight. Tight. It's tight. And we'll put a little bit of lube. That's good. All right, now I got an idea. Let me go get my idea together. Got the clamp back on. And we just got to do this. And I have an idea. An idea, as we say on Long Island. Be right there. All right, here's my idea, right? So I think this is going to be my routine now. So a piece of fuel line, right? Nice, this is a bigger size. And then these guys, I get them from, two-strokers, weed whackers, blowers, right? You can buy them online. Let's just push this into here. Now this piece might be too short, but I had it, right? Well, we don't need much. Push that in there. Push that onto the primer nipple. It's a good size for it too. It's going on nice and tight. I'm actually working it on there. Yeah, that's on there good. Now, cut off the end because it's damaged. And we're just going to pull it around. And that's actually a good size because, you know, it's just going to be sitting underneath there, right? It's not going to go anywhere. If you wanted to, you could shorten it. But I think we're just going to leave it like that. If we want, you know, we can shorten it, and I think that's a good way to go. This is in good shape, right, this hose. These hoses are in good shape. There's no reason to pull this off right now. You know me. I would do it, right? But there's no reason to do it. And we're doing a service, so we may not get paid to do that. And we don't have to. So we're going to put back the can later. This is just a grounding thing, so we shouldn't need it. That's your key. And now we're going to look at the rest of it. All right, so it's actually getting late, but we'll put a plug in a little bit. We need to go to the next step. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Mail's in. Just real quick, everybody, I just want to let everybody know, I want to say thank you to the old man at Eliminated Performance and his son, Eliminated Performance. Okay, all you Eliminators out there, they sent me a nice card, business card, and a nice sticker, which is pretty cool. And the old man, you know, he sent me a nice letter, so I'm going to have to give him a call and reach back out to him. I want to say thank you to those guys over there and give them a shout out. These little things are nice. They make the holidays a little bit cooler. And of course, so many of you guys out there that watch this program and watch the other programs, or you guys, you know, YouTubers out there that do this, all the guys that do it, from, you know, Ken Small Engines, Mixed Mowers, you know, Bruce's Shop, all you guys out there, and plus all the guys I watch, West Work, and, you know, just Diesel Creek, and all of this stuff that's going on out there today is just absolutely fantastic. And to whatever degree that I've been welcomed in by these people and by you guys, I want to say thank you and happy holidays. And just, even if I'm just a small part of it as a YouTuber, and of course all you guys that watch it, right? Without you guys, right, we wouldn't be able to do any of it, right? It would just be some cool home movies and videos. So once again, shout out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned.